Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. We're back with another episode of I've Got No Bitches, so let's talk about Destiny. I've got issues. But yeah, we're talking about more Destiny because why not? This time, we're going to talk about a post that was made by Grenadier Jake, where he asked, what's your unpopular opinion about Destiny 2 that will have you like this? And boy, oh boy, did it deliver. So we're going to take the time to actually check out some of those thoughts. Feel free to put your own unpopular opinion down below. I'm going to focus on just mostly talking about the comments because there's some spicy ones. Let's jump into it. All right, let's check out this one by Azrael Universe. An absolute massive amount of the most common and popular criticism of Destiny are not problems of the game, but the people making them. Bungie shouldn't have changed something because you've done too much and you don't like it anymore and have to screw new players even more. What are you talking about, broski? Bungie's screwing new players all on their own. Like, have you talked to the people who like crafting? Bungie did that. That wasn't the new players or other old players. That was Bungie's choice. Removing all the starter content like the Forsaken, Curse of Osiris, Warmind. Let's not talk about Red War, all the raids. Yeah, that was all Bungie. Trust me, veterans didn't want that. Very interesting choice to blame the veterans. Totally, let's blame them. Another one by Carhel. Weapon crafting is an essential component of player retention. The fact that Bungie implemented it in the stupidest way possible doesn't mean that it shouldn't be in the game. Wanting 100% RNG gear acquisition is a generally insane mentality to hold. Wow. Don't play any other real MMO, and please don't play any other looter shooter. But I will concede and say that yes, the cat's out of the bag, right? You can't get the cat back in the bag. You're gonna get clawed and scratched, and it's just gonna be unbearable. Absolutely agree that it could be done better, and I think if crafting was done better and made it to where there's a reason to care about non-crafted versions of the same gun, I think we could have a nice little balance. Someone mentioned having like an Adept version of seasonal gear or the shiny version where you have multiple perks. I think that's a nice compromise. Chase the multiple perks, let the casuals have the crafting. I think that'd be dope. Here's another one by Zero. The final shape wasn't that good. He's not wrong, or they're not wrong. And I do want to do a review on it, like eventually, but I'm gonna be honest, there's aspects of the final shape. I mean, it is unpopular, but I'm actually gonna have to agree on this one. This one's by Cock. What a name. Subclass 3.0 caused irreversible damage to the game that cannot be undone, both inside PvE and PvP, and turned the gameplay into revolving around as much ability uptime as humanly possible, as opposed to having a healthy ability gunplay split. I think a lot of people like to look at Forsaken, even though I think we're forgetting that and all these other supers were kind of broken. But I think there was like a sweet spot. I think a lot of people look at the 30th edition when we got dares and all that. There was a nice balance between abilities and gunplay. I'm going to agree. I think it's definitely a little bit noticeable how broken things are. Everyone has healing nades. Everyone has Devour. Like, the amount of access to things that are just kind of broken has skyrocketed. I don't know. I don't have a solution. MJ had this to say. Destiny 2 is a PvE game with a PvP mode. If they won't split sandboxes, PvE should take priority always. If there's a negative in PvP, but fix it would adversely affect PvE, leave it the same. Goes for implementing something good for PvE that would negatively affect PvP, put that crap in. Destiny will always be a PvE game with a PvP mode, and no amount coping will change that. Dang. I just heard a chunk of the PvP players just seethe over that comment. I agree. I absolutely agree. I agree that it is definitely PvE centric. However, I don't think Destiny, with how little of a player pool we have right now, I don't think we can get away with not having PvP. I don't. Now, do I think it's as good as like Halo PvP, like the OG Halo? No. I think Destiny PvP is nowhere near as popular as Halo. Like Halo the story and Halo the multiplayer are bread and butter. They were meant to go together. Destiny's PvP has really not been that way. Maybe Destiny 1, but Destiny 2, it's never been that way. It's always been, one has been the bane of the other. PvE has been a bane to PvP. How many things have come around for PvE that are so good, but people hate them in PvP? How many things in PvP have caused people to hate it in PvE because it got nerfed because of PvP? Like, it's a love-hate relationship. It doesn't blend well. That's why Gambit itself doesn't do well, because it blends both together and you have this monstrosity that isn't balanced. That's my hot take. There you go. Another one by a different Jake. I truly think Destiny has the potential to be one of the best arena shooters on the market, but keeps falling short because Bungie doesn't understand their own sandbox and what the player pop wants. Also, the Red War was the best campaign this game has ever had. Okay, yeah. Man, I like Red War. I'm going to tell you right now, I like Red War, but better than Witch Queen? I will give you, maybe it's better than the Final Shape story. It's definitely better than Beyond Light and the Lightfall, but man, I don't know how I feel about Witch Queen. Now, the rest of that, like, I don't, it has maybe one of the best, sure, not the best. I think there are plenty of other games that the gunplay is very consistent and stable. The problem with Destiny is that there's so many inconsistencies that it makes you want to bang your head against the wall, especially in PvP. Protheon, that's an interesting game. As painful as sunsetting is, I think it's only true way to make new loot worth chasing, keeping the meta fresh. Wow, we have a pro sunsetter. I don't know, man. Like, if you remember Destiny 1, technically we didn't have sunsetting for PvP. We did have level setting, right? Eventually you get to a point in like the expansions or DLC that it would no longer allow certain weapons and exotics to go beyond a certain light level, which really only impacted like trials, I think. I remember correctly. It's been so long since I did D1 trials and the PvE content. The PvP, like Crucible, you could use whatever you want anytime you wanted. All right, I actually got comments based under the actual Renee Jake post, so we're gonna dive right into that now. All right, we got one from the J-Man. Trials of Osiris has officially run its course and should be depreciated in favor of a new endgame PvP mode. Ooh. You know what? I don't know. PvP mains out there, sound off. Do you think that Trials of Osiris should be canceled? Should we say goodbye? You've lived your best life. Do we need Trials of the 9 2.0? I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't sound off. We do have comp. So like there's competitive and then there's trials. I always thought it was weird that trials wasn't comp as it should be. I don't know. I don't have a solution. You all sound off. I could care less. They can remove trials. I don't care. They can make comp the new trials. I don't care. I'm just going to go for the pretty new guns. And that's me. I'm going for pretty guns. That's it. All right. We have a comment from James Portis or JP Paracazzo. That's a long name. Iron Banner could be the ultimate 6v6 team deathmatch with Adept loot every other weekend and be the refresher Destiny needs because it's supposed to be a savage contest of old, but Bungie won't ever give it a chance. That's an interesting idea. I've heard a lot of the Adept loot, and I think I like the idea of making Adept loot more accessible or at least more open instead of just being, oh, it's just specific things. Yeah, screw that, man. Make it go make it the new. It's not like Adepts are overly broken anyways. Like they're marginal increases, and it's more of like the prestige of it. Let's be honest. That unless you do the whole like Salvation's Edge where you can get 3 perks in the 4th and 3rd column, like that's juice. Like in that spec, you know, that makes sense. But if we're talking about you get like 1 extra perk, like Grandmasters, you get 1. Ooh, one extra perk. Ooh, I don't know. You sound off, guys. I would like bigger, like Battlefield, big style maps with a bigger team. Like, I would love that. All right, we got one. Gambit is better than Crucible, and it's not even close. Dang. I'll be honest. I would rather play Crucible than Gambit. I played 12 hours of Gambit, and I wanted to bang my head. Absolutely want to bang my head. But yeah, I think I find more enjoyment randomly in some Crucible matches than I do Gambit. But you guys sound off. Do you agree with this hot take? Another one by Dolmaidoas. I don't know if I'm saying it right. PvP is nothing more than Harry Potter wizard. I'm sorry. Let's try it again. PvP is nothing more than Harry Potter wizarding battles and hasn't been good since Beyond Light was released. I'm sorry, Harry Potter. Yeah, man, I hated that movie. Was it? It was like part 2 of the final movie or something like that, and Harry dropped a well on Voldemort. Like, that bitch. All right, this one's by the Teflon Dawn. Slug and pellet shotguns are the most overpowered special weapons in this game. Like, are we talking about I'm assuming we're talking about PvP, because in PvE that is not the case, but PvP, yeah, I'd agree. I think the amount of little effort it takes to use a shotgun is a joke. Like, yeah, you could say the same thing about fusions, but fusions you have to actually aim correctly and you have to pre-charge. I would say it's easier to get a guaranteed hit with a shotgun ape than someone camping around a corner, because at least with a fusion you can hear someone pre-charging and you can kind of dodge, whereas shotgun, usually they're just barrel stuffing you and that's it, you're done. This one's by La Lorana VT. Is VT like VTuber? Not for sure. I want cuter armor, and to have more armor that gives me a snatched waist and a fat ass. I want to look hot and cute while I lay waste on my enemies. Yeah, this is definitely got to be a VTuber. A snatched waist and a fat ass. I got the last part. What the hell is the snatched waist? What do you mean? Like, are we trying to do First Descendant but in Destiny? You know what? Pop off. You know, sure, why not? All right, we've got one by Karen. PvP no-lifers have ruined what? I don't know. Ruined PvP was enjoyable on console until the no-lifers decided to infest the casual PvP events. IB and GG, I'm guessing Guardian Games, PvP sucked. I have not played on console, so I have no idea how different console is. Is it true that people have, like, I'm assuming if people have migrated to console, it's because they want to avoid cheaters. So I would unironically blame Bungie. I know that's like, why not blame cheaters? Because Bungie's the one that's allowing the cheaters to exist. All right, we got this Blue Psycho. Destiny 3 wouldn't solve anything unless it was a complete destruction of an old system and rebuilt from the ground up. I would agree. The game has been riding the coattails of the first year of Forsaken, and they've still yet to add an expansion that does what Forsaken did for all the sides of the game. Destiny's storytelling is so garbage, they removed all the mystery of Destiny, the first game, losing all science fiction aspects for pure fantasy elements. I agree. I don't know about Forsaken. You guys can sound off what you think. I don't know if they're riding the coattails of Forsaken. I would say maybe they're riding the coattails of like the success that Forsaken had based off like Activision. Because I know, like, I would definitely say that Seasons ride the coattails of the Menagerie. Like, everything after the success of Season of the Opulence and they introduced the Menagerie, everything has been the Menagerie dot some number. Or 2.0, 3.0, 5.0. Everything's just been a copy paste of the Menagerie. I will absolutely say that era, when it comes to Forsaken, Bungie has absolutely rode the coattails of that. As for the rest of it, I absolutely agree. I think we used to have mystery. I think it was really cool to have science fiction, but now it is nothing but fantasy. Like, there is no sci-fi, and I think we had like space with guns with a slight hint of magic, to now everything's just magic. We're now fighting dragons and space lesbians. I'm like, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, here's another one. D Supa of D Dupas. I don't know what I'm saying. Weapon sunsetting was good for the game and should come back. Dang! I didn't realize there was a cult following for sunsetting. Like, people are jumping on the bandwagon. I don't know, man. I heavily disagree. I can see the benefits of it, but at the same time, the moment that they sunset weapons, I'm out. Especially if you make them craftable. Like, what's the point? I'm out. Or we have one by Killdozer 666. Ooh. Feels cursed already. If Bungie dropped all the content for these episodes all at once, like an expansion, the content and story would be more enjoyable. But we'd have 2-3 month gap in the content drops, which I'd be happier with than our current post-expansion content model. I agree. I think the biggest problem and something that makes people the most disinterested in the story is when you start getting forward. Like, I'm going to give you the truth. I like this episode's story, but it is such a killer when you start investing. You're like, oh, right, man, we're getting somewhere. And then it's like, you shut the door in my face. So I think they should just drop everything at once. People will come and play when you have events like Iron Banner. You do like the Christmas events, you do special events. Like, if they did like double drops on different things, like what if they did double dungeon drops for a week? Just play a certain dungeon, double drops, raids, double drops. Like, why? Just go crazy, go ham. What about double experience? Like actual experience, like you want to level up your guns, boom, double experience. What you wanna double pinnacles? Here's how you catch up and you get, we're halfway through the episode. Let's get you caught up so you can just be max level. Double pinnacle drops. Everything's double. So you can get a chance to get, your character at 210 or whatever the hell it is now. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of easy things you can bake in that causes people to come back and play. It's just Bungie doesn't put enough intelligent thought into that. All right, we got Potato, just Potato, nothing fancy. Hunters have been the most OP class for years in Destiny 2 PvP. Yeah, it's true. And I think it's not in there necessarily because they're OP. I think it's just because they're so easy to use. Like, you don't have, like, I'll be honest, I play controller and I'm forcing myself to learn mouse and keyboard for PvP. And it's been hard, but anytime I play anytime I play Hunter on mouse and keyboard, it is so easy compared to like Titan and Warlock. It is just free comparative. And that's just my personal experience. Sound off what you think, especially if you're a PvP main. But there's a reason why people gravitate to Hunter as one of the most played classes in the game. All right, Snowman, Frosty, the Snowman. I'm sorry. Shotguns require skill in PvP. Ooh, counterpoint to the previous one. I don't think so. Like, if you want to say that they're not the most overpowered, sure. But there is no way in any world that you can say the shotguns require skill. Abso-freaking. That is a cope. That is someone who's desperate for people not to cry nerf shotguns. This is I use hand cannons and shotgunmain.com. And I'm justifying my reason because it takes skill. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. We have one by Cobho. Where are these names? Rise of Iron was peak Destiny and not the Taken King or anything D2. Wow. Listen, I think Wrath of the Machine was one of the best raids we've ever had, but I will not stand for the Taken King slander, you vile beast. Also, the Witch Queen, seriously? There's no shot that even, like... That was such a bad take. I almost died. All right, by Magical Spaceman, most of the unset content would not be played today. The only things they should not have put in the DCV was the story campaigns, raids, and maybe the PvP maps. We don't actually miss the majority of that content, nor do people engage with most of the stuff we paid for afterwards. So, story campaigns, raids, and PvP maps. That is pretty much the majority of what was removed. That and all the guns. I don't know Asian, and I can't determine if it's what Asian country this is, so I'm not going to be racist and try to say anything. The game is fine. It's been 10 years of the same game, but people are expecting brand new experiences for something that's been around for that long. I think there is some truth to this. But I also think if you can't find a way to add new experiences to a live service, not just a single player, we're not talking about like Elden Ring or like Dark Souls 1 or a game like Destiny 1 that is kind of that's done, it's lived its life, and now they've moved on. I think Destiny 2 is at that point. I think Destiny 2 is at the point where Destiny 1 was, where now I think it's time we move on. If you're not going to continue to add new experiences, then we need to put it on the shelf, let it live the rest of its life like Destiny 1, and let's make something new. Let's make something fresh. But will that happen? No. We are just going to continue to add new paint jobs to the same car and hope that something sticks, including the player base. Shrouded Gaming, this is an amazing game, and Bungie is a great developer. I can agree, mate, on like one of that. I'm gonna let you decide which is. Comment down below. Amazing game or a great developer. I'm not actually gonna edit anything because I'm too lazy. Dion LeBranche. I don't even know if I said that right. The microtransactions are really just cosmetics that don't do anything to change the game, and optional to get, and aren't something to be upset over. I think you are right. If you were looking at something like Black Ops 6, like you get free zombie maps, you get free guns, you get free maps, you get free updates. Everything on the season is free. And yes, you can spend $20 on different bundles. They're cranking out those microtransactions like it's nothing, but they also give a lot of free stuff. Bungie doesn't do that. Bungie makes you pay nickel and dime you for every little thing. And the paid content you do pay for, the armor looks like ass. Why is it that I can look like Geralt of Rivia but I have to pay for it? But the content where it would have made sense to look like that, I have another snow cloak. I have another snow set. Woo, Antarctica. Love that. Woo. I don't know. Like, I think there is some truth to what's said if it meets the context. It, like Fortnite, 100% free game, does a lot of free things, a lot of free cool stuff. Okay, do your microtransactions. But when you're paying for content that the content you paid for looks worse than the other microtransactions you can pay for, I think there's a problem. There's a problem. And last but not least, by all Philly fan, it's a game meant to be played casually at this point. Ooh, buddy. I'm not gonna say a thing, except for sometimes I have this question in my head. Is Destiny 2 now a casual man's game? Should it be a casual man's game? I don't know. I don't know. I have thoughts and opinions and desires, but I'm gonna put it back up to you guys. You can, if you stuck this far, I'm gonna let you guys answer it and let me know what you think. And who knows, maybe I'll do like a video reacting to what you guys have to say. I think you guys really enjoyed those reacts, and I hope you enjoyed this react. I'm trying to do more different react styles, and you enjoyed the last video I did up above, by the way, if you want to check it out. You guys enjoyed that, so I'm going to try doing it again. I'm going to try to innovate, try to do something fresh. So let me know what you think. As always, I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Check out the Discord if you want to join our Discord. And yeah, thanks for supporting. You're awesome. Subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and game out. Oh my God, what happened there? I'm dying. That last comment is killing me, man. I'm dying.